Hello everybody, I'm Danrvdtree2000, also known as Danrvdtree2000 on Xbox Live, and it's all about the money! Money, money, money in the bank! As the very first pay-per-view of the year for 2019, well, I wouldn't say first pay-per-view, but the official reset of the pay-per-views starts now with the Money in the Bank pay-per-view. It was Backlash last year, but it's been changed to Money in the Bank this year, so it's gonna be very interesting to see who, as we know, who wins the Money in the Bank matches. We have both got two Money in the Bank matches, which is one for the women's and one for the men. We'll get to those in a bit, but here are my predictions for Money in the Bank 2019, starting off with the kickoff show matchup, which is for the SmackDown Live Tag Team Championships. Now, before I get into this, let me just explain how the rules work. The rules are basically I choose people who I think is going to win, which is basically who WWE have booked to win. And who I want to win is my own personal opinion. Now, to go on to the predictions, starting with this kickoff show match, where the tag team champions Daniel Bryan and Eric Rowan will take on the Usos. However, the Usos are no longer part of SmackDown Live, and in fact are part of Monday Night Raw. So they're entering this match representing Monday Night Raw, entering a SmackDown match as part of the wild card scenario, which Vince McMahon invented a couple of weeks ago on Monday Night Raw, when Roman Reigns was able to go to Raw after being on SmackDown for like a week. So it's all very confusing. There's many, and personally, if you ask me, I don't like it. You either do a brand where the titles, there's $1 titles like the Intercontinental Champion. Maybe you could easily have the United States and Intercontinental Championship. That mid-card competitors can compete more. But yeah, $1 tag team titles, one main title, and the Intercontinental and United States Championship to go for as mid-carders. Not a whole bunch of like Raw and SmackDown titles, but hey, maybe Raw Superstars can challenge for the SmackDown tag team titles and SmackDown. No, that just doesn't make any sense. You either do one thing or another. You either do brand war, or it's just one big happy family, but they can go on Raw and SmackDown. They've done both in the past. And I personally like the War brand, like the Survivor Series, and them trying to outdo each other each week for ratings. Not this whole friendly competition. Superstars from Raw can go to SmackDown, and Superstars from SmackDown can go to Raw. It's okay. It doesn't work if you're gonna do something where you got two different nights of titles on two different shows. Make it so that it's a war. So for this match, it's a no-brainer. Daniel Bryan and Eric Rowan are gonna win. I would like to see the Usos become SmackDown Live Tag Team Champions again, but it just wouldn't make any sense. So I know I had a little bit of a rant just now about this whole wild card scenario. I know I don't like it, but hey, I can't do much about it. It's an experiment at the moment. Hopefully everything will go back to normal and there'll be SmackDown vs. Raw again eventually. I mean, I like the idea of the Royal Rumble winners and maybe the Money in the Bank winners going after either the main WWE champion or Universal Champion. That's a good idea. Or maybe the women's SmackDown Women's Champion or the Raw Women's Champion. That's a good idea. But having the wild card scenario happen for any title, it just doesn't make any sense. So yeah, I can't really make a predictions properly if matches like this happen, because we know that if it's for the titles, they're not gonna have a Raw tag team or Raw guys win the SmackDown belts, because it just wouldn't make any sense. So there you go, there's my predictions. I want the Usos, but I think it'll be Bryan and Rowan. So with that being said, I'm going to go on to the next match, and which, by the way, this match is on the kickoff show, so I don't understand how the Usos have once again lowered themselves to ending up on the kickoff show again. But yeah, next match. And the next match for Money in the Bank is, I've not been watching 205 Live, but it's Danrvdtree is challenging Tony Nese for the Cruiserweight Championship. And I'm also going to guess it's going to be on the kickoff show. So the Money in the Bank, I reckon there should be multiple Money in the Banks represent, like the Cruiserweight Champion Money in the Bank, where the person can cash in against the Cruiserweight Champion at any time. And also maybe have one for the SmackDown titles as well. That'll be good. The SmackDown titles? I mean the tag team titles. That'll be interesting. But for going on that note, Tony Nese only just won the Cruiserweight Championship at WrestleMania. I am not going to bet against him here. So I think it'll be Tony Nese, and I want Tony Nese to win. Let's see if I can hit Danrvdtree with that big old knees of his and win the matchup. Again, I have been watching 205 Live, so I don't know what's been going on. So I don't know how they got here, but I will find out at Money in the Bank, surely. So yeah, there you go. That's my predictions for this matchup. It's a quick and easy one. So with that being said, we're going straight on to the next match. And speaking of quick and easy, maybe Samoa Joe will retain his title again against Rey Mysterio once more, but this time at Money in the Bank, as he defends his title against Rey Mysterio at Money in the Bank. Maybe Dominic might get involved here, but I don't know. You know, he's bringing up the past. He brought up the past last week. Well, he didn't, but Cesaro brought up the past of, is Dominic your real son? Because he thought, of course he freaking is. You know, stop bringing up the old storylines. I mean, it was a good storyline with Eddie when Eddie Guerrero did it, but you know, don't like people digging up old storylines. But will this match last longer than it did at WrestleMania, where Rey Mysterio was defeated within a minute? I don't know. But again, this matchup is a no-brainer for me. I think that it'll be Samoa Joe, but I want Rey Mysterio. As I was kind of right about my predictions with WrestleMania, but I didn't think it would go on that short. I didn't think it would be that quick. So maybe if Rey Mysterio is smart, he'll try and, you know, outdo Samoa Joe with his quickness. But supposedly Rey Mysterio was injured that night at WrestleMania, which is why it was so short. But now he is 100% again, so maybe the match will go a little bit longer this time. But still, I think Samoa Joe will retain the United States Championship, and I think he's going to keep that United States Championship for a very, very long time. So, with that being said, I think it will be Samoa Joe, but I want Rey Mysterio. Maybe Mysterio might get a 619 in this time, who knows? But at the end of the night, I think it will be Rey Mysterio out on his back after being put to sleep by Samoa Joe. And with that being said, we're going to go on to the next match. And the next match is the men's Money in the Bank ladder match, we have multiple people that have never been in a Money in the Bank match, and there's people that have never won a Money in the Bank. Let me just go through quickly from right to left and who the competitors are, and I will tell you if they've been in a Money in the Bank match or not. First of all, we have Andrade, who's never been in a Money in the Bank match before, and has never, of course, because of that reason, he's never won one. We have Ricochet, again, this is his first Money in the Bank ladder match, so therefore he's never won one. Drew McIntyre, I think he's been in a couple of Money in the Bank ladder matches before. I can't remember exactly, I think it may have been in some of the earlier ones, but he's never won a Money in the Bank ladder match, but he has competed in one before. Finn Balor, I do believe, may have been in a Money in the Bank ladder match, possibly a couple of times, but has yet to win one. Sami Zayn, again, I know he's definitely been in a Money in the Bank ladder match before, but has never won one. Baron Corbin has definitely been in a Money in the Bank ladder match before and has won the Money in the Bank ladder match, but has failed to cash in that Money in the Bank contract due to his own competent stupidity by not focusing on Jinder Mahal, who was the champion at the time, when he was focusing on his rival John Cena, who interfered during that matchup. So in a way, I can agree with Baron Corbin when he says he blames John Cena for the reason why he squandered that shot, when really there was beef backstage with someone else, but that's just between you and me. But everyone else fucking knows about it anyway. That's hopefully he won't squander his opportunity this time. It would be actually kind of cool to see Baron Corbin win this time. But we're moving on to the next guy, and that's Ali. Ali, again, never been in a Money, as far as I know, he's not been in a Money in the Bank ladder match. This is his first time, and therefore he's never won one because he's never been in one. He has a very good chance of winning because of his speed, but that's again, like Ricochet and Finn Balor and Sami Zayn, they're very quick people, but that doesn't necessarily mean they're going to be able to climb that ladder and retrieve the briefcase. And finally, we have the 13-time world champion, who could become a 14-time world champion if he was to cash in that Money in the Bank briefcase one more time, as Randy Orton is a former Money in the Bank winner, and he has successfully cashed in that Money in the Bank contract, and he did that against Daniel Bryan at SummerSlam. But out of all 8 of these men, who do I think is going to win the men's Money in the Bank ladder match? I think it'll be Drew McIntyre. Who do I want to see them win the men's Money in the Bank ladder match? Finn Balor. Because even though he's Intercontinental Champion, we've had the former Money in the Bank winner being a double champ as well. So, like, The Miz was the United States champion, and he was tag team champion when he was Mr. Money in the Bank. Then he lost both the United States championship. I think that's right. I can't exactly remember, but I think that's right. Where he was both tag team champion and United States champion and Mr. Money in the Bank at the same time. I think. Don't take my word for it, I could be wrong, but someone has done that. They have been a mid-card champion and has held the Money in the Bank contract at the same time. Please don't let this, so over the last couple of years, the men's Money in the Bank has been squandered. Last year it was Braun Strowman. The year before that it was Baron Corbin. Please don't have another man squander their opportunity. If these out of all these competitors, I reckon that this should be a successful cash in, whether it's been told by ahead of time or whether it's by a surprise sneak attack, or or whatever the case may be. I think, but yeah, this is going to be a huge matchup. Still great spots, possibly especially from Ricochet, Finn Balor, possibly even Sami Zayn, and Drew McIntyre definitely, and Baron Corbin and Randy Orton can easily use those ladders for their capabilities, with Mustafa Ali as well as Ricochet, as I just said, and Andrade could be the wild card in this matchup to win the Money in the Bank. But yeah, that's who I think is going to win the Money in the Bank match. I think it's going to be Drew McIntyre, but I want it to be Finn Balor. Whether they will go for the opposite titles, I mean, every time I see a Royal Rumble winner or Money in the Bank winner, they always go to their respective champions. For example, if a SmackDown superstar was to win the Money in the Bank, they're probably most likely going to go after either Kofi Kingston or Kevin Owens. Or if a Raw superstar was to win, they would either go after AJ Styles or Seth Rollins. It's just what I think is going to happen. So, with that being said, there they are, the 8 men in this Money in the Bank ladder match. And I say it one more time, I think Drew McIntyre, and I want Finn Balor. So, but I'm going to move on to the next match. And speaking of Money in the Bank, here is the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. It's the third, technically fourth Money in the Bank women's matchup that we've had over the last couple of years. We technically had a tainted one that took part in the Money in the Bank pay-per-view itself, which Carmella technically won, even though it was won by James Ellsworth, which so therefore, because of that tainted reason, it was redone on the SmackDown Live afterwards, which Carmella then won properly, making Carmella a 2-time Money in the Bank winner, if you want to put it that way. But speaking of Carmella, she is in this matchup. And she is, again, as I just mentioned, she has won the Money in the Bank and successfully cashed in that Money in the Bank against, I think, Charlotte Flair at the time, so, because the Iconics made their debut and beat down Charlotte Flair on that night in honor for Charlotte, in honor for Carmella to win that matchup. We also have Naomi, a former SmackDown Live Women's Champion, who could easily become a SmackDown Live Women's Champion again if she was to win the Money in the Bank contract. I think she may have been in one of the, because I know that Nia Jax, she was the Raw Women's Champion. I think she may have been in one of the 2 women's Money in the Bank ladder matches. But has not won the Money in the Bank itself. And Natalya has been in every single one. But again, not able to get that briefcase just yet, so maybe she will. Bayley, this is her first one, I think. I can't seem to remember. But Alexa Bliss, this is her second Money in the Bank ladder match. She has successfully cashed in that Money in the Bank ladder match, that Money in the Bank briefcase, and it was against Nia Jax on the very same night that she won it last year. Dana Brooke, again, I'm not too sure if this is her first one or not, but I think it is. And again, she's not won the Money in the Bank briefcase. We've had, this is Mandy Rose's first Money in the Bank ladder match, I think. And this is Ember Moon's first, I think. I'm not too sure. I think she might have been in last year's as well. But yeah, that's all of the the women are in this Money in the Bank, like the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. And now it's time for my prediction. Who do I think is going to win the Money in the Bank? Now, there are three that I'm going to say here. I think it'll be Alexa Bliss, Ember Moon, or Bayley. But I want Dana Brooke. The reason why is because I think she could it's time for her to get that main event push that we've all been waiting for. Maybe she can take on Charlotte, because Charlotte used to be Charlotte's protege. I don't know, man. It's going to be hard to predict, personally. But, it's more likely to be someone like Ember Moon, Bayley, Natalya, or Alexa Bliss. Maybe not Naomi, Carmella, or Mandy Rose, but it's a very tough choice, to say the least. Will Nikki Cross help Alexa Bliss win? Possibly. That could happen. But, it's a very long list of women right here, and it's a very hard one for me to make. So, I'm going to go with Alexa Bliss winning, so be a 2-time Miss Money in the Bank. So, yeah, I think Alexa Bliss, but I want Dana Brooke. So, yeah, that's my predictions for this match. So, with that being said, we're going to go on to the next one. And speaking of the champ, it's Becky Two Belts is going to be doing double duty at Money in the Bank, as her first opponent will be Lacey Evans, as Becky Lynch will defend her Raw Women's Championship against Lacey Evans. And, with Miss Money in the Bank possibly happening before this matchup, whoever that is will be lurking in the shadows and watching this matchup, and maybe thinking about cashing in on whoever wins this matchup, or possibly during it. As we saw last year when Ronda Rousey, the Raw Women's Champion, as Ronda Rousey took on Nia Jax, and Nia Jax was the Raw Women's Champion at that time. But a little bit later on down the line, Ronda Rousey did become Raw Women's Champion by defeating Alexa Bliss, who then Ronda Rousey lost that Raw Women's Championship to Becky Lynch at WrestleMania. Now here we are a year later after the whole circle, and did you see what's happened here? That the Raw Women's Championship was the belt that belongs to Nia Jax, who lost it to Alexa Bliss, who lost it to Ronda Rousey, who lost it to Becky Lynch, who could possibly lose it here tonight against Lacey Evans. I mean, Becky Lynch, will she be Becky 2 belts by the end of the night, or will she be Becky no belts? That's a very good question. I hope not. I hope she successfully retains both her championships. So who do I think is going to win? Becky Lynch. Who do I want to win? Becky Lynch. As much as I'd like to think that she'll end up getting a women's right straight to her bush, I think she'll probably counter that into the disarm her and make Lacey Evans tap out like a little bitch. So that's my predictions for this matchup. I think, and I want Becky Lynch to win this match, and it'll be roughly a quick one too. I think Lacey Evans has still got something to prove and probably needs to be put down a peg against the man. Or Lacey Evans will win the championship, and then, Becky Lynch will go on later to, lose to Charlotte, and that'll be the end of the man's reign, because it wasn't supposed to happen. With that little fluke victory, which Ronda Rousey didn't kick out of in time for the free count at WrestleMania. But I don't care, because we got the man as the Becky 2 belts, and I like that. So, but we'll have to find out at Money in the Bank to see if Becky can retain her Raw Women's Championship and continue to be the man. With that being said, I'm going to have to go on to the next match. And now the next match is a steel cage match where once again we're getting Shane McMahon versus The Miz. At WrestleMania, I thought it was after going back. Well, the WrestleMania, the Shane McMahon just about beat The Miz in the Falls Count Anywhere match, and now we've got the steel cage match where Shane McMahon has nowhere to run, but I suppose he can run out the cage, and if he does run out the cage, he wins. But anyway, let's go back and start and tell you how this whole story started if you have not been paying attention. At Fastlane, well, I'll go back even further than that. At Royal Rumble, well, even further than that actually, I'll start. Miz really wanted Shane McMahon to be his tag team partner, and he said we could be the best tag team in the world. And Shane McMahon, after weeks and weeks of denying it, finally gave in and they became a tag team. They then went on to the Royal Rumble and defeated the Usos for the SmackDown Live tag team titles. The Usos demanded a rematch. They got it because the WWE fans wanted to see that match, and for Fastlane, we saw The Miz and Shane McMahon lose the tag team titles to the Usos, and after the matchup, Shane McMahon betrayed The Miz in front of his father, no less. He even put his hands on Mr. Miz himself, and therefore that struck a nerve on The Miz, and therefore he said, "Look, I'm gonna beat you up. I want you in a Falls Count Anywhere match." Blah blah blah. He beat him up. You know, he beat up Shane McMahon beat up Miz. We got to WrestleMania, and then at WrestleMania, the match came to a close where there was a big giant superplex from The Miz to Shane McMahon, and Shane McMahon landed on The Miz and beat The Miz. And then he then claimed to be the best in the world and just called The Miz his dad a big giant potato face. And still pissed about WrestleMania, Miz has still got more to prove, and he continued to beat up Shane McMahon with steel chairs in the parking lot. Got low blood. He left the building. This last week on Raw, he got banned from SmackDown Live, even though we got this wild card rule, and it's all very confusing. Basically, in a nutshell, Miz hates Shane, Shane hates Miz, going to collide inside the steel cage. Who do I think is going to win? The Miz. Who do I want to win? Actually, you know what? Scratch that. I think Shane will win, but I want The Miz to win. The reason why I think Shane's going to win is because some type of bollocks and shenanigans is going to happen. That's just my opinion. But yeah, this feud might go on for a little bit longer than I think, and I don't know when it's going to finish, but it's just only got started, and the fire was lit at WrestleMania. In fact, the fire was lit at Fastlane, if anything, so, and it's still burning, and therefore it won't be put out until maybe a couple of months from now. So yeah, that's my predictions for this match. I want The Miz, but I think Shane make with that happy, and let's make for a really good matchup. So, with that being said, I'm going to go to the next one. And the next match is Roman Reigns versus Elias. So I have one important question for you and everybody watching this video. Who wants to walk with Elias? Well, Roman Reigns sure doesn't, because he just wants to Superman his face into the mat, and he wants to spear his ass to the ground. and he wants to pin him 1, 2, 3. That, excuse me, that's exactly what's going to happen. It'll be Roman Reigns beating up Elias, and he will win. Simple as that. It's as quick and easy as the sentence is, and therefore, with that being said, I'm going to say my predictions for this matchup is this. I think Roman Reigns, I want Elias. It's a really weird one, I know, but I just think of what Elias has been put into this position. He's up against the big dog, former WWE champion. If he could beat someone like Roman Reigns, God knows what's going to happen with his career. New WWE champion, perhaps, or maybe new Universal champion. Can't you imagine? Elias beating either Kofi Kingston or Kevin Owens to become WWE champion. I like the sound of that. Then everybody would know that WWE stands for Walk with Elias. But sadly, he won't win this match, and it'll just be another victory for Roman Reigns. So with that being said, I'm going to go on to the next match, and then hopefully the next match will be an even more exciting match than this one right here. Well, after 11 goddamn years, it's about goddamn time we had Kofi Kingston as WWE champion. Now, considering that Sami Zayn is in the Money in the Bank, the men's Money in the Bank ladder match, it's a big possibility that he may end up winning the men's Money in the Bank contract. I don't want him to win it, but it's a very, very big possibility. So what is the chances that if he was to win that Money in the Bank briefcase, that during this match, he's going to come down and attack Kofi Kingston from behind, and after the match, even maybe, after Kofi beats and gets rid of Kevin Owens, after what he did and betrayed the New Day, which I kind of knew was going to happen anyway, because Kevin Owens has always betrayed people. Just ask Sami Zayn himself. He's betrayed a lot of people over the years, and you can't trust him. He's a snake. He'll betray you when he gets the chance, especially if you're holding something that he wants, like the WWE Championship. So therefore, yeah, they should have known. So, Big E is out of action for a while, but Xavier Woods is going to be in the corner for Kofi Kingston, and we're going to have Kofi Kingston, defend his title against Kevin Owens. And this one's a very tough one. You see, I want to see Kofi Kingston keep his championship belt for a little bit longer, but I got a bad feeling that we're going to see a new WWE champion in Kevin Owens. That's why I think he's going to win. So, it's going to be, unless Sami Zayn cashes in the Money in the Bank, if he wins it, that Money in the Bank briefcase, of course, then it's going to be that again. I reckon that's going to be that always will be my predictions, because I can't say never, can't really say no these days, because it has been down on the same night before. So one of these Money in the Bank contract holders will cash in against the champion of their choice at the end of the night, and will become the WWE champion or WWE Universal champion, or if it's the women's Money in the Bank winner, then it'll be either the Raw Women's Champion or SmackDown Live Women's Champion. That's just a fact. Then later bit down the line, the opposite Money in the Bank winner will cash in against their champion of their choosing. But as for this match, it's a no-brainer. Kofi Kingston will probably end up winning, unless, somehow, some way, Kevin Owens finds his way to beat up Kofi Kingston so bad that he couldn't get up for the free count and becomes the new WWE champion. Once again, I want Kofi Kingston, but I think it'll be Kevin Owens. So we're going to move on to the next match now, as we're getting over so close to the main event. Well, here we are then, the Raw main event, as the WWE Universal Champion, the Beast Slayer, Seth Rollins, who successfully beat Brock Lesnar with not one, not two, but 3 curb stomps to Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania, in the very first match of the night, I might add, of the proper, main card of all the matches. The starting WrestleMania of Brock Lesnar versus Rollins for the Universal Championship, and to see a brand new Universal Champion in Seth Rollins makes me smile, makes me feel good. Then the Superstar Shake-Up happens, and look who ends up on Raw! No other than the phenomenal one, AJ Styles. Yes, indeed. Supposedly back in 2006, they had a match on the indie scene, and now it's all come full circle. But this time it's for a championship, and that championship is the Universal Championship, which currently belongs to Seth Rollins. And so this is going to be a very entertaining matchup, I might add, as can't really see Seth Rollins losing the belt, but I can see, after the matchup, a heel turn from AJ Styles. I mean, it's very hard to see Seth Rollins turning heel, especially when he's got all this burn it down stick going on. So, yeah, it would probably be some type of low blow, or an attack from behind, or a beat down afterwards to cause in a cash in, maybe. That would be interesting to see. Then they can continue the feud, but without the championship being on the line. Very, very good way to introduce that Money in the Bank scenario. So much. Maybe he might have his little club buddies, Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson, help him out and win the match. I don't know, it could happen. Now that Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns are doing their own thing, with Dean Ambrose out of the picture and he's gone somewhere else, and Roman Reigns on SmackDown Live, even though he can come back on Raw as part of the wild card, again, which I hate. I've thrown my displeasure for the wild card throughout this predictions video, but it's all about these two men right here, and they could probably tear their house down in this matchup. And with that being said, I'm going to make my predictions now. I've gone on for a bit longer than I should, as who do I think is going to win? Seth freaking Rollins. Who do I want to win? The phenomenal AJ Styles. And that is going to be my predictions for this matchup. And without doubt, it probably might end up being a good way to start a feud, whether the championship is in the picture or not. Good way to have a heel turn from AJ Styles. Definitely have that happen. If it doesn't happen, then I'll be disappointed. But not as disappointed if AJ Styles was to win the Universal Championship. That and any like a clean finish. If it was a dirty finish, then I might like that. It'll be very interesting to see. So, he might take one out. Shit's getting like a Romer's book. At the end of the match, give him a good old-fashioned kick to the balls. So, we're going to see who wins that matchup, Money in the Bank, but we're going to go on to the final match of the evening, the main event. And that main event is next. And now the main event is for the SmackDown Live Women's Championship. Now, Becky Lynch is Becky 2 belts in this picture, but when it comes to this matchup, will she be Becky 2 belts, or will she be Becky 1 belt? Or maybe at the end of it all, as I said earlier, will she be Becky no belts? Personally, I hope, again, as I said in the Lacey Evans predictions, when I made the predictions on that match, I hope not. I hope that she wins both the matches. But, you know, this is going to be the rivalry that comes to an end at Money in the Bank. I really hope that's the case. And I hope the man wins. So therefore, that's my prediction who I want to win this matchup. I want the man to win, but I think it's going to be Charlotte Flair. Just because that's just WWE for you, innit? It's just WWE always give a silver spoon and say, here you go, here's your freaking gold. Become a 9-time champion. Eventually build that up to be a fucking 19-time world champion. Yeah, Charlotte will probably go on to win and lose the championships just so that she can beat her father when it comes to winning the most titles. You know? No one will probably duplicate those many title reigns just because her name's Flair, and that's what I think is going to happen over the course of her career. She'll win 17 titles to beat her dad. I don't know what. I know that the record is 8 because of Charlotte. So yes, there you have it. That is the entire predictions for Money in the Bank 2019. But let me know who you think is going to win Money in the Bank 2019. Who's going to win the Money in the Bank matches from both the men and the women? Will Becky Lynch have one belt at the end of the night? Will she have both belts at the end of the night? Or will she have none? As I said just now, I want Becky Lynch to win, and I think Charlotte's going to win. But that's just way too many matches for me to handle. But not as many as WrestleMania, that's for sure. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you like, share, and subscribe. And I will see you at the Money in the Bank 2019 reactions and reviews. And until next time, bye bye. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you want to watch the previous video, click on the video on the left. But if you want to watch the playlist, then click on the video on the right. Also, feel free to click subscribe by clicking on the Master Chief icon on the top.